Good morning and welcome back dear student. Let's start from the same topic, lost spring. As everyone knew that the lost spring here means lost spring because it is a symbolic and it has compared with a childhood. In the first part of the story we find that there the Sahib Alam has lost his childhood at first as a rag picker and afterward he was working in the tea stall, working at the tea stall, so almost he has lost. So the spring is the season equal to childhood because both are growing season, both are carefree. So Sahib Alam has lost his carefreeness and his freedom. And now in the second part of the story, we will try to find out that what here Mukesh want to do. He very strongly said that I want to become a motor mechanic, I want to become a master of my own thought. And when author said and author asked him, do you know anything about a car? He said that I will learn to drive a car. But his dream looms like a mirage amidst the dust of street that filled his town Firozabad. But his dreams appear like dim and unrealistic. That is how the street of Firozabad has filled with the smoke. In the same way, his dream appears dim and unrealistic. Every family of here I would say the Firozabad is famous for the bangle industry, bangle making industry, and every other family in Firozabad is engaged in making bangles. So every other family whosoever are living there in this area is busy in working in the work in the bangle industry, and it is the center of India's glass blowing industry where the bangles are made. And the most generations, the most people living there have families have spent a generation working there on furnaces, welding glasses, making bangles for all women in the land. It seems that these people are making and working at the hot furnaces where the metals are furnaces where the metals are melted, and welding glasses. Welding glass here means they were soldering the bangles and making bangles all the women of this world. Mukesh family is one of them. They were also working in the same industry. None of them knew that it is illegal for children to work in the glass and high temperature in dingy cell without air and light. Nobody know about that if that it is illegal for the children working in the hot furnaces with a high temperature, which especially in the dingy here means the dark part of the house where there is no air and no light. So if law enforced could get him and all those 20,000 children out of hot furnaces where they slog their daylight, are often losing the brightness of their eyes. If the law enforced, all the 20,000 people, 20,000 children will be come out of this with the from that place, from that hot furnaces where they were working over the high temperatures, where they work hard. Slog here means work hard during the daytime and often lose their eyesight before becoming aware of their life or its life. Mukesh's eyes beams as he volunteers to take me home, which he proudly says is being rebuilt. Author here said that when Mukesh lead me to his house voluntarily with his will, and very proudly he said that his house is being rebuilt, it is being renovated. Okay, so we walk down stinking lane chalk with garbage. Stinking lane chalked with garbage. You see, when we walked in that area, the path were very much stinky, very smelly. At attached. You see, there was the garbage and the rag attached to it. Past the houses that remain. We passed from the house which has remained, which seems to be the remains of hovels with crumbling walls. Hovels here means dirty and unfit to live. Okay, and it has the wall which is already crumbled into pieces. The wobbly, unfit, unsteady doors, no windows. The crowded with families of human animal coexisting in a primeval state. So when we were walking in that stingy paths, there along the garbage and the rag attached to the house, and these were the house, just remains of crumbling walls. It has crumbling walls and holes and wobbly irons. Wobbly iron, wobbly doors. Unstable door it has, and no window was there, and the families of those human and animal living together in a crowd like a ancient times. He stopped at the door of one such house. In front of one such house, we stopped, and Mukesh bangs a bubbly iron door. Bubbly iron door means the delayed ढाले एक दरवाजे, लोहे के दरवाजे को bang करता है. He knocked, and with his foot, he knocked with his foot one such the bubbly iron door, unsteady iron door, and pushed it open. He pushed it open with his foot. We enter a half-built shack. In one part of it, thatched with dead grass, in a firewood stove over which sits a large vessel of sizzling spinach leaves. We enter one such half-built small house, here shack, small house, the covered with dry grasses. In one part of it is a stove, which has a pot in which the sound of sizzling here is a boiling sound. We could hear the boiling sound of spinach leaves on the ground. Over there on the ground, in a large aluminium platter, there was a large aluminium platter which has more chopped vegetable, which has some more vegetable already cut. A frail young woman is cooking the evening meal for the whole family. Frail, you see, the weak women were preparing meal for the family, especially for the whole family, including who was there in his family. We will find out later. Okay, because she was very the frail and very weak woman, and she was preparing evening meal for his family and for whole family. So his eyes filled with the smoke. She smiled. Her eyes was filled with smoke, and she smiled through. And she's the wife of Mukesh's elder brother. She was the wife of Mukesh's elder brother, and not much older in year. Although she was a small one, not much in year, that she has begun to command respect as the bahu, the daughter-in-law of the house. Already she was taking the command, taking the respect of all these things, that she is a bahu of family now, and so she must be respected in the family. Already in charge of 3 men. She was, and she has the charge of 3 men already, in which it include her husband Mukesh and her in-laws, actually is their fathers. When the older man entered, she gently withdraws. As her father-in-law entered in the house, she very gently just go back to behind the broken wall. You see, she goes toward the broken walls and bring her veil close to her face, and she withdraw her veil to cover her face, as custom demand. That it is the custom whenever daughter-in-law must veil their face before male elder, that it is the custom. Okay, whenever any elder male came in their view, they withdraw their veils over her face, and it is the custom to hide face in front of the male. So in this case, the elder is an impoverished bangle maker. Okay, he's a bangle makers, and despite long year of hard work and hard labor, in spite of doing a long time, for a long time as a laborer first, then because he was doing this work for a long time, hard work for a long time, first as a tailor and then as a bangle maker, he has failed to renovate a house. He was failed to renovate his house, and not only that, but also he couldn't send his both son to the school. All he has managed to do is teach them what he knows. But whatever you know, that was the art of making bangles. That's what he managed to teach them. Okay, what he knew? He knew about how to make bangles, and he was satisfied that what others couldn't do, I have managed that. That I teach them that how to make bangles. That's it. That was today's lecture here, and tomorrow we will start from here. Thank you. Have a nice day. And we have some questions also. Okay, who is Mukesh and what his ambition? What is his ambitions? Mukesh is a laborer in bangle industry, glass bangle industry, and he want to become a motor mechanic. He very strongly said to author that I want to become a motor mechanic. I want to become my own master, the master of my own thought and my own will. Okay. And the next one is, in which condition do people live in Mukesh locality? Every other family in Firozabad is engaged in bangle making on hot furnaces with high temperature in dingy cell without air and light. They spent their whole time to making the bangles in dingy cell, especially which has no air and no light. Okay. And the next question is, which three men does the Bahu take care of? She take care of three men's, her husband, Mukesh, and Mukesh's father. These are the three men whom she take care of. And what is the custom of veil? What is the custom? This is the tradition to hide one's face, especially when elder entered and elder came in view and elder came in front of them. At that time, they have to withdraw bring their veil down in front of the face, just to hide their face. Okay, what is the success and failure of Mukesh's father? What was the first failure? Okay, for a long labor, you see, for a long time, and he worked first as a tailor and then as a bangle maker. He couldn't make house, and even sent her son to school. That was his failure. But what was his success? What other can't do? Actually, he managed to teach his both son the art of making bangles. Okay, that